Cars are everywhere. We use them every day. But have you ever actually thought why were cars invented? And I'll guarantee you one thing. It's not the reason you're thinking of. It's not about going fast or to show off luxury. Before cars were a thing, getting from one place to another wasn't easy. It was slow. Like, really slow. People walked, rode horses, or even used carriages to get around. These options were slow, sure, but it worked for a while. Till the horses get tired, hungry, and stop. It's like imagine going across the country in a car that goes 40 kilometers an hour, and that's 30 miles of freedom. And every 10 minutes you had to stop. Yeah, that would be a long, painful trip. People needed to move faster. Businesses needed to deliver more. And it got to a point where it just wasn't enough anymore. Something had to change. In 1659, Hans Hunch built a carriage powered by clockwork. And it was like a giant Rolex engine machine thingy on wheels. It would run with the pressure of the springs that were wound up before being driven. But as soon as the springs winded down, the carriage would just stop. Then in 1769, Nicholas Joseph built the first steam-powered carriage. It worked with the pressure of the steam that was produced by the boiling water.
And apparently this is the first car that was in a crash. There's a video recreating it in like early 1800s.
And this was a big step because for the first time, it can actually carry a person. But it was ginormous and very hard to control, so it didn't really cut through. In the early 1800s, inventors like Francois de Rivaz figured out a way to make some sort of machine that would burn a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. And this would make small tiny explosions inside that made the wheel move. And this was the first combustion engine used on a car. And essentially it's the same type of engines we use today, but it still wasn't reliable enough. Some inventors tried to use electricity, but the technology just wasn't there yet. All of these concepts and innovations had a problem. They weren't built for everyday use. They were slow, complicated, and unreliable. You know, when I think about it, it kind of sounds like a BMW. In the year 1886, a middle-aged man from a small town in Germany revolutionized the world. And who could it be other than Karl Benz? He built a machine that could just drive. But you might be thinking, what made his car so different? Simple. His car worked for everyday people. His car, the Benz Patent-Motorwagen, very creative name, used a gasoline-powered engine, something no other car can do successfully before. But it was still slow. It had less than 1 horsepower from a 652cc engine. And somehow, that's 14 less horsepower than a horse. A horse has 15. And by no means was it cheap. It was $1,000 back in 1886. And that was a substantial amount of money back then. But this was still the early stages. Only a few people had them. You had to be seriously rich to afford one. And cars were still being improved, but that didn't last long. Someone found a way to make cars for everyone. In 1808, Henry Ford introduced us the Ford Model T. This car changed everything. Ford had one goal: to make cars affordable for everyone. Back then, cars were built one by one by what we call coach builders. A whole team would work on one car that would take them 12 hours just to build. Then Henry Ford once saw how meatpacking factories in Chicago worked, where products moved in one line and how it moved from one worker to another. And he saw how efficient that was. And suddenly, it clicked. He realized he can use the same idea to mass produce cars. And so he created the assembly line, where each worker did one job over and over again till the whole car was completed. This made production faster, cheaper, and more efficient. Cars went from taking 12 hours to build into just 93 minutes. And to this day, the assembly line is used by practically every car manufacturer. And this changed everything. A vehicle that is affordable to take everyone from point A to point B without any issue. And that is exactly what defines a car today. Cars weren't invented to be fast or luxurious. They were invented because we had a problem. So the next time you get into your car, just remember, it's not meant to be fast, especially if it's a Hyundai. But now I want to hear you. What car do you drive? Maybe your car is built for speed. What should I talk about next? Did I miss anything? Let me know down in the comments, and subscribe if you actually learned something.